I'll just say that with the first 4 years, I would brush my teeth, vomit, getting ready, and go to work.
Welcome to Topic Talk. I'm Jess, your host, and this Topic Talk is about work. This is Marcus, a visually creative, nature-loving father, husband, and lecturer. He's an Australian-born stroke survivor living in Kochi, Japan, and a supporting member of our Genius community. Hi, Marcus.
Good morning.
In 2 to 3 minutes maximum, can you please tell us, how have you been able to adapt to the challenges of a demanding job living with aphasia?
First, to adapt to it was incredibly difficult, and I'm still dealing with this problem every day. I think it was just to survive in the first couple of years to get through this. I mean, I teach English, and my ability of aphasia was very low, and so I had to drop what I could teach, know my level to the students. So I'm sad to those students in the first years that they didn't get the high level that I could have given them. But gradually I'm much better, but I still have that problem. And I had a talk about this with Sue. Most people will know her. We just mentioned about that. I always expecting myself that I've got to do 100%, 80%. And it's taken me since my stroke, which is probably, I don't know, I think 6 years, that at the beginning, I was always trying to do my best all the time, even though it's low, the level, but I was trying to do 100%. And now I'm sort of be able to say to myself, actually, I can survive with using 60% and 70% and still good classes and teach. And that's been a bit of a problem because it's going to have a lot of stress, a continuous stress of making sure that all the students get the best classes that I can give them. That's been really hard, but it is continuing. I get a little bit better, so I want to push myself a little bit more. But by doing that, it actually means more stress on me to do this.
And how, because I always found it fascinating how you approached that process of maybe that pressure to perform, but maybe also to share your situation, or maybe not share, and how different people might react to that. And
well, I didn't share. When I was at my university, I had to hide. I actually wrote a short poem about the invisible man because I just had to be away because I couldn't show anybody except my students the level that I'm at, which has caused problems within my colleagues and relationships and how it connects there. That's still a problem and continue because people who don't believe this.
Do you deal with it differently now than how you dealt with it in the past?
With work, with my colleagues, I still have quite poor. It's just because I have to state them nearly every year. I have cognitive fatigue. I take epileptic pills. They knock me out. They're very strong. I don't know if anybody else has it, but they cause cognitive fatigue. You just fog. The stroke gave me the fog. And then because I can't sleep, I take sleeping pills. So there's 3 whappers, on 3 on top, and I get really tired. And people at work, when they see a photograph of me, or if I'm riding my bike, they always think, oh, he's fine, he's fantastic. but it's the mental part in my brain that's incredibly hard to explain to people. And now I've just given up. I've totally given up thinking I'm not going to talk to people about it, because there's no point of it. People just don't understand.
Do you think that's helped you own it more, not having to explain yourself, not having to worry about it?
It's made it a lot easier to do the things. I'm lucky because I have my own office. I can just do my classes and I can leave when I want to do. So I can control things very much. But as what I used before, you have colleagues and see people and talk and have a chat. Now I just do zero. I just go in there, do my classes. And it's online classes. It's getting to a year and a half. So for me, it's been quite easy. That's fantastic. But at the end of this term, next year, we'll go back to normal classes, and then I'll see the challenge that I have. Because the challenge that I do have is spelling continued, like even the simplest word, and suddenly, boom, it's turned off. But when I'm in the computer, I can quickly deal with this online. But when I'm in the classroom and I'm started writing, and suddenly like, when? What's when? And I just think, what's when? I don't know what when is. That's words. These are simple. That's the problems that people, aphasia, you think, oh, you just get going further and further, you get really good. I can talk difficult words, but sometimes the simplest word, like when, my brain just turns off and I don't know what it is.
It's incredible. And I really appreciate you sharing that. It's fascinating, and because of the resilience and, you know, the tenacity and that it requires to continue showing up and be so vulnerable. That's what you're doing every time you go to work. Well,
if you have time, I'll just say that with the first 4 years, I would brush my teeth, vomit, getting ready, and go to work. So my kids were in junior high school and high school, and they're brushing their teeth and said, Dad, you have to take us to school. And I said, hang on, and I'm like this, high vomiting every day, every single day, because I just knew this is just so heavy to do this, but I have to do it. But as soon as I opened the door, boom, I get in the car, drive in. I said, right, this is what I have to do. I just go through it. If I've prepared for it, it should be okay. I don't vomit anymore, but I do have, like, the classes that just started now. And it's this week is this stress, because I'm okay. I've got 3 months of teaching again. And that's taken me, stress sitting with me right here. I'm feeling that right now because I have to go to work soon. And I expect until I stop work, I will feel better. I won't have to worry about stress. And it's difficult. Tenacity is the word. One of my friends said to me many years ago, said, you have a lot of tenacity to be there. And when he told me that, I couldn't even remember what he was talking about. What? And then finally, it took me about 2 months to work out tenacity, because I can remember it. So when I say tenacity now, they're like, God, I'm perfect. I've improved. I can say tenacity.
It's somewhat of a difficult word. Like, as you enunciate every part of it, I go, yeah, that could be a bit.
If people have had aphasia and the problems, different types, but to start from monosyllabic words and to go to multisyllabic words is incredible difficult. It is so hard, and I still have to be very, very careful of when I teach something to my students, because sometimes to that word and I go, oh, there's just no way for me to say, I'm going to make a mistake, so I'm not going to say, I'm just going to go straight over the top.
I think you're handling all of it incredibly well, and you've explained progress like multiple times, like that nervousness, how your body was responding to that nervousness versus now, and even, you know, certain words and even your attitude. I imagine, you know, you've done this before. There's a certain part of you that knows you can do it like even though you know it's difficult. So thank you for sharing that with us. Now Marcus and I would love to hear from you. How have you been able to adapt to the challenges of work?